You have become a master of being in the in-between. You have become a master of becoming within the in-between. The in-between has become blah, blah, blah. The in-between has become your stomping grounds. And that's exactly where the angels want you. It's exactly where you're meant to be right now. Now, I get the feeling that you, throughout your life, whether this was in childhood or whether it happened when you were a little bit older, it was in a younger stage of your becoming. You got plucked up and tossed around, and I feel like you've moved a lot. Whether that be in jobs or in homes or within the same state, but just to different areas of the same place, or maybe you've been literally picked up and thrown all around in so many different places in the world. You have definitely moved a lot and you've experienced so much change in your life. And it's been almost like the second you get comfortable, something has shifted. And it's almost like throughout your journey, in the beginning, this was really, really hard, right? It was so much change that it was almost like there's a sense of devastation here that I'm feeling for you. For the beginning of these stages of transformation that you were moving through, of experiencing what the in-between is, especially since you've adapted more to being a human being, right? And also, excuse the fact that I'm on a different camera today. I hope you guys can't tell. If you guys are new here, totally ignore this, but there's a crazy storm here. And I literally had no power for 2 days straight, and so every single one of my batteries is dead, and the only reason my phone is still working is because I've been charging it in my car, and so that's why I'm on my phone. So anyways, excuse that. That's why I'm on a different type of camera today. But anyways, you have been moved around so much, right? And you've literally been plucked and tossed into all these different places. And I don't know why, but there was a period in my life where I was literally spending days thinking I might end up living in my car because I just did not know where I was going to be or where I was going to go next, because there was so much massive transformation, and my angels are showing me that. So I don't know if that's all of you, but one of you may resonate. Definitely let me know if you do. But you may have had moments where you were like, I don't know where I'm going next, but you just knew that you had to move. It's almost like the angels would just pick you up and be like, oh, you're moving again. And you would be like, oh, everything's changing. But you just didn't know what was happening or where it was going or how it was shifting. And you were just like, okay, I'm on the ride, wherever we're going next, And maybe it was in different places too. Or someone else specifically was creating movement for you as well. And the thing is the reason this channel is coming through is because you have mastered being in the in-between, and that's exactly where the angels need you to be, or have wanted you to be this entire time, okay? And they really just needed you to become so comfortable in mass amounts of transformation, because you are destined to experience mass transformation for the majority of your life, but it's going to get wilder than it's ever been before, and in a more beautiful, abundant way than before. So, I'm hearing that the reason that this is really coming through is because the transformation that's about to happen is going to be so intense that you needed to become so comfortable in the in-between. Something amazing is coming in for you. Can you see how excited I'm getting? Something so magnificent is coming in for you. And it's not just one thing I'm hearing. It's almost like a virtual reality that you're going to be picked up and placed within, okay? And it's going to have a lot to do with manifestations. Maybe you've even felt connected to scripting, or you've just journaled a lot, or I'm hearing the miracle journal. Maybe you've done that journal before. That would be so funny if that's true. You have to let me know. That's a very specific journal. But there's a whole lot of manifestation and what's your dream life, and what are you actually looking for, and where does it stem from, and a lot of ties into how you feel in where you're going. And you've done a lot of that. You've done a lot of that, okay? Even if it's just thought patterns, I'm hearing that for some of you, maybe you haven't done scripting, but you've done virtual manifestations where you've literally seen yourself in places, and you've felt what it feels like to be with certain entities that will be in your life, beautiful, positive entities, souls, right? And so this beautiful virtual reality that you're going to be plucked and placed within is going to be so epic, but it's going to be such a massive transformation for you that you needed to be so comfortable in the in-between. And so I feel like this past, like, it's been a while. Maybe for a lot of you it's been so long, but it's like you've been slowly like being more in between and more in between and more in between throughout time and timelines. Like it's almost like you're just like consistently living within an in-between at this time, and you needed to grow so comfortable and grow to this mastery within this in-between that you felt safe and secure no matter what life threw at you, right? So that you could adapt and shift and so beautifully transmute, that's a good word, transmute this massive shift that's coming in for you. I'm seeing scales for some reason. You could relate with reptiles. Dragons could be significant for you, or even shedding of scales, like or finding scales. I don't know why that could be significant, but it could be significant for some of you. But the reason, so like the angels want me to come on here and talk to you because they're saying that you're in the weirdest in-between in your life that you've ever been in. And so this video will be finding you if you kind of feel very attuned to this, where like it's almost like life is good and you're comfortable, right? But life is also shifting in ways that you never imagined it was going to shift. Like you may have even had a few things come up recently where I feel like just like people have shifted in your reality, or your living situation has shifted in your reality, or I'm even hearing like your job has shifted in your reality. Like maybe you've done a huge career shift recently, or it's almost just like everything is like at this weird like twisting point, or like I don't know the word for that, but it's like where there's equally enough stuff going in and equally new stuff shifting and coming out at the same time. Like it's like there is this and you can see it building. Is that a you can see it building, and you also can just like see it happening all around you. And there's so much that you're almost like, it's funny, you almost feel like alone or on your own. You may even resonate with being a lone wolf, but to a degree that like you're not alone. Like I think that you do still have a lot of people in your life, and you have a lot of abundance in your life, and so much all around you, but there's like this sense of like feeling like you almost just don't know which way things are going to twist or turn, but like you're also so comfortable with things just shifting in such dramatic ways so unexpectedly. And I think that recently you've gone through like a crazier shift than normal. Again, that's why this video is finding you. It's to probably just mostly confirm, but also to kind of hold you. I'm literally like holding myself as I'm speaking. It's literally to hold you in this time where so much is shifting, and for your angels to come through and find you, right? Like this video will have found you somehow it will be on your browse or whatnot. Like I don't know how YouTube works. I just trust the angels when it comes to that stuff. But like this video will have needed to find you because you're at such an interesting point where you're almost just on your own. And I feel like you've also probably experienced mass amounts of loss in your life. Like I'm getting this energy that like through different points in time, you've lost a lot. You may have even lost people, but you may have even lost like to death people. Like you have had people cross, but you may have also just lost people. I'm hearing that throughout your life, you've had people like be really, really close to you, and then suddenly they're not. And something just shifts, and then they're just like out of your life. And I feel like that's happened so many times for you. And they were people that like sometimes you were like, oh, I guess it makes sense. Like we were just never gonna go in the same direction. Like you feel that. But then there's also a lot of people that you really thought were always gonna stick around, that I feel like even more recently, like within the past 5 years, these people that you thought were never gonna leave your life, that you were literally bound by like soul contract for life, like have shifted and are no longer in your life. And it's not like, it's like you're so comfortable in this shift and this change and this in between that you don't even really like, you do move through the heartbreak of it all, but in a way that's like a little bit, whoa, that was interesting. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kick that. Let me pull my leg back. Did I put that in the right place? But you've been moving through these in-betweens, and recently it's just been like, you've felt the heartbreak, but you've also just been watching these people like walk away or walk in different directions, where it's almost like you're not on your knees on the floor anymore, like, and you were in the beginning. And as sad or hard as that has been, very hard, it's been very hard for you, and I love you, and I'm so proud of you for moving through that and allowing people to walk away in their timelines and as they needed to. I hope you know how much strength that takes, and I hope you know just how beautiful of a being you have to be to allow people to walk away from you. Like, it really takes such a incredible soul to see all of it, to see the pathway, to see just the way that everything is twisting and shifting and turning, right? And I love you for that, okay? And your angels love you even more. And, oh, right now, it doesn't pull you to your knees anymore, right? You don't really feel like, I think it just used to take all of you with it when something like that would happen. And now it's more like a witnessing. It's more like you're just so hyper aware. You may even experience being super hyper aware, or like even hyper aware of people. I'm getting this word very finely. Like, you're very fine tuned to people's shifts. Like, you may even be one of those people that when you're in a public setting, you kind of like notice when someone's energy shifts and you're like, oh, wonder what happened there. Like, you're just like very attuned to other beings and very aware. And I'm going to be very honest with you. The reason that most often that comes through is because throughout your childhood, you had to be aware to ensure your safety, right? And I'm sure we'll get into that later, but I love you and you are safe, and your angels want you to know that you're safe. And that's likely where some of that stuff stems from. But that was a hard one, huh? But now you're just like so aware as things are shifting and people are walking away. And I'm actually getting this sense of hope inside of you, which is really interesting. Like, it's almost like as people are leaving, you've grown so accustomed to the way that things shift and turn all around you that you know that when someone's walking away, another person's walking towards you at equally the same rate, right? So you know that someone new is coming in, and you know that there's things shifting in your 3D reality as these things are shifting out of your 3D reality. Like, you're like, whoa, like this stuff's actually happening. And this is where we come in, right? And we're here to remind you that this in-between that you're in is just a place that you needed to grow comfortable. It's a place that you needed to become so in your body that you would be able to be picked up and tossed into the life of your dreams, because it's going to be insane. Like, it's going to be absolutely wild. And I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I felt like I needed the deck for some reason. I'm going to pull them right now really quick just to see like if there's something the angels want me to touch on. There's definitely something here. But there's just like, I just don't think you like, I feel like, ooh, I'm tripping over my words. You've grown so comfortable in the in-between that you've almost gotten so happy and cultivated a life. And right now, in this moment, when you're cultivating this life that you have, where you're like, anything can shift, and like, actually, I'm getting this feeling that like you're about to set things in stone, or like even like make some moves that like really cultivate your feet into the ground. And it's like right here, right now is when everything's gonna shift, right? And you've had this happen before, right? Literally the movement card coming through. And the star, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Empress. Dude. So yeah, you're literally being moved, you're being redirected, and it's happening again. And so maybe the angels are here to tell you, like, I know that you've already been so patient, and you've been being patient, and from every in-between, you've ended up in a deeper in-between where you were like, what the heck, like, is anything ever, like, you're almost so comfortable with change that you're like, is anything gonna shift, right? Because, and also the way that change has happened for you, it's been so gradual, and it hasn't been like so on the nail where it's like you realize that everything is different, you know, because it's more like one little thing has been changing in the background and one little thing, but all of this has been preparation for you, okay? And oh, I was just hearing something. What did they say? Maybe it'll come back. Literally, the star card came out, and it has to do with hope and renewal and miracles. Okay, I don't think the cards want to say anything else. We'll just... Yeah. So your angels just want you to hold your faith and your patience a little bit longer. It's just funny because every time that you've been told this or heard this, you've said, oh yeah, a little bit longer. Like, did you roll your eyes when I said that? I can totally feel that. Just a little bit longer. And the thing is that it's always been longer than you think it's gonna be, but this time it's gonna be shorter than you think it's gonna be. Like, you've been almost like prepared to think that holding your faith and like waiting a little bit longer is like, oh yeah, a few more years, like that's fine, right? Because that's where you go in your head when you think about deep shift. Like when you think about the way that you transform, it's always been like 3 to 5 years, right? And then you're like, oh, then it usually comes into union or fruition with my life. And what I'm hearing is that this time you're gonna hold your faith a little bit longer, because it's gonna be that last push that really, it's like I'm seeing a slingshot. So it's that last little like, you know, that's you holding your faith. You're cranking it back just the teeniest little bit. Your angels are gonna let you go, and you're literally gonna just soar. Like everything's gonna happen very quickly, and it's gonna happen so much faster than you think it's gonna be happening or coming in for you. And I also feel like there's a message here just to congratulate you for learning how to have faith and learning how to trust in your spirit guides and your angels, and for continuing to challenge yourself to trust every single time that you've needed to, and every single time that you've hit those points where I know that you know that you've kind of like almost lost it, you know what I mean? Like you've been like, oh, like, man, I don't know if I can hold on any longer, and you have. And again, like I just keep hearing strength. Like you just don't realize how much strength it takes, and you have truly become a master of the in-between, and you're exactly where you're meant to be, my love. Okay, I love you so much, and I'm very excited to find out what is happening for you. That's this like big soaring moment, and I do believe that we will definitely be experiencing that and having channels come through as you're moving through that too, because the thing about when you're soaring is that you do not realize the different kinds of challenges and things that come up when you're soaring. It's like everything that you've been learning thus far has been so epic, but it's almost like we take what we know and we try to apply it to what will happen in the future. But you're going somewhere new, and it's going to bring up new things that you've never thought of or experienced, and even just new, like, it's going to be almost like there's just new hallways within you where you're like, whoa, I never dreamed that I'd even be moving through things like this or thinking about things like this. And they're really going to catch you off guard. But again, that's what comes with soaring. Like, the atmosphere changes and there's new things that you've never seen before. So I'm very excited for you. I love you so, so, so much. If this message resonated with you, please do let me know, and I will see you in the next message.